Hey guys, welcome back to today's episode on the Black Box as part of our Bring That Mercedes Back from the Dead. And I'm just going to let you guys kind of watch over my shoulder. This box right here is a Pandora's box of possible problems. There, as I'll show you in a minute, are a bunch of vacuum junctions, hoses, levers, and connectors, and they basically do two things. Number one, they control the EGR, and number two, they control the shifting, the timing, the hardness, the quality of the transmission shifting in this particular car. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to remove this black plastic cover and show you guys what is in there. Let me get some gloves real fast. Just pop the joint loose here. Just lay that to the side. And we'll pop this one loose and lay that to the side. And then while we're at it, we'll pop this one and this one loose. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to remove this, and this will help me to take this black cover off. Now this cover is kind of a pain to put back on, but we'll do our best. Okay, so that, there's a little tab here. Okay, and it's just that. Now, under here, let me make sure you guys can see, there are two 3-2 valves. One here and one here. And if these leak, they can cause havoc with your shifting of your transmission. Now I know this line here goes to a thermostatic valve, which goes over to an electronic or an electrical valve, and I'm going to assume that this right here is going over to the EGR. So the problem is these hoses right here, these molded hoses, are no longer made. And it would be nice if I could just take these and pop some new ones on there, but I can't. So I have to be very careful how I take these off. And I think what I want to do is take some carb cleaner and clean that area a little bit before I start removing the hoses. This area is subject to a lot of heat, obviously being on top of the engine, and I want to be as neat and clean with this as possible. Alright, so I think, whew, that stuff is strong. If I start acting weird on the video, you know what it was. So, this connector used to be available. It's no longer available anymore, and that's too bad, because these are all, every point here is could be a point of leakage. So I'm going to disconnect this one, okay. Okay, so it just lifts up. It's on a like a little pen. Okay. And we'll just pull this off just like that. Okay. So this has a little tiny lever, and that was already broke. And it's got that plunger right there, so this was way in overdue for repair. Now let me clean this some more. Wow. So what my plan of attack is, I would like to put a little RTV silicone, because these rubber hoses are they're not as flexible as they used to be. They're kind of hard, and I don't want it leaking any vacuum. So my plan is to put a little RTV on the edge of the valves when I insert it back in there, and maybe it will seal it. So I'm going to grab my supplies and we'll be right back. Okay, so this is what our brand new 3-2 valve looks like. You can see the lever is nice and tight, and compared to this one, this is probably the original one. So my plan is that I'm going to put a little bit of the RTV silicone, just a little, at the base where the hoses will seat. Okay. Alright, so let me make sure this part's kind of a pain. There's this tab here that has to go on. Difficult. There we go. Now I'm not gonna start it up till tomorrow, because I want to let that RTV cure, and so I am 95% confident that it stopped any leaks that were there. However, the question is it going to help the transmission shift differently? And that we'll find out tomorrow. Alright, so here we are back the next day, and I went on probably about a 10-11 mile test drive, and there is improvement. Certainly when I check the vacuum with the engine running here, before I was only getting 5 inches, and now I'm getting about 20. This is the check valve that goes into the vacuum control valve. This is what mimics when you press the throttle. It mimics it tricks the transmission into thinking it's a gas engine, basically. So it's not completely, it doesn't shift completely as well as it should. It is better, so there are other things to iron out. It's just shifting a little too early. It's not that it's shifting bad as far as feel, it's just shifting a little early. So, but that was a success for sure. There were obviously leaks, vacuum leaks that were evident there. I'm going to probably replace these two and some fittings over here. This is the control module that takes the vacuum signal from the temperature sensor, and then as you can see that would be hooked to the EGR, which somehow it fell off. I don't know how, but yeah. But it's running good, running well, and there's so much more stuff we got to do to the car, but I'm enjoying driving it. I did put the carpets back in. I got some Hexo mats. These are the only ones I could find really that, but they're so much cleaner. Why is this not focusing? But they're a lot cleaner. I'll show you the back. Not perfect, but I'm probably going to try to dye the carpet in there. If anybody knows of any good carpet dye, not spray paint, but actual dye for carpet. I believe the interior of that is supposed to be Palomino. It's mostly faded really bad, so I'd like to bring it back to so it looks nice. But anyway, guys, thank you for your viewership. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Lots more videos to come. We've got to rehab the battery tray. We've got to do some rust repair with our Miracle Paint. There's a lot of stuff that we have to do, but we got to get rid of these tires, and it's getting critical. And I'm going to tell you why, probably in a later video. But these tires, they're dry rotted, and they're really old. So I've got to get to Discount Tire and get a new set of tires. But anyway, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you on the next video.